Ways to finesse the system. Although we know that college is very, very expensive, there's ways to finesse the system. So I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. So I know a lot of you clicked this video wanting to know information about how to get scholarships, where to find them, and who to go to. And today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I got almost $30,000 in scholarships and financial aid. If you want to know more information about how I got that, stay tuned and make sure to watch the video. I'm gonna start off with telling you guys a little bit about myself. For those who don't know, my name is Zaria Simone. I make videos on YouTube about college life, advice, and lifestyle. So if that's something that you're interested in, please make sure to check out my channel. A subscription will be great. Help your girl get your coin by watching the ads, all that. But we're not gonna talk about that. We're talking about scholarships. As you may notice, I go to North Carolina A&T, and going to school isn't cheap. Especially for me, because my parents aren't rich, I'm not rich, so I have to make sure to get as many scholarships as I can if I want to attend the school that I'm going to. I'm going to be referring to all the things I did for the 1920 academic school year. So over the course of that school year, I received 7 scholarships total, 3 of them being renewable, and 2 grants, which were the Pell Grant, and if you're a DC resident, you received the DC Tag Grant. No, I did not receive any loans, although they were offered to me. I earned enough in scholarships and aid to the point where I didn't need loans for that school year. Before I tell you guys how I got scholarships, I want to give you guys some tips about what to do and what not to do. And the first tip is that scholarships are free to apply. So don't ever pay to apply for scholarships. If they're making you pay, most likely 10 times out of 10, it's a scam. No scholarship is going to require you to submit a fee, anything of that nature. The next tip I have is to sign up for FAFSA. For those who don't know, FAFSA, it stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Each year opens on October 1st for the following school year. And you really need to apply for FAFSA if you do want scholarships, because most of the time, most scholarships ask for your SAR, which is your student aid report, and it basically tells you how much you're expected to receive from the government, and also your expected family contribution, which is how much you're giving to pay for school. And also, when applying for scholarships, you need to stay organized. So personally, I have a spreadsheet of all the scholarships that I've applied to. You don't have to do that. It's just something I suggest you to do so you can keep in track of how many scholarships you applied to. And also, if you didn't get it for that school year, you'll always have a link to see if you could reapply for the following school year. When applying for scholarships, usually a lot of scholarships like to start off their GPA at 2.5, so I recommend that you have at least a 2.5 or higher, because usually that's the minimum requirement. And my last tip is to try to be as well-rounded as possible. At the last school you were at, which may be high school or college, try to be as involved as you can. Join clubs and activities. Try to get as many community service hours as you can. If your school doesn't require you to have community service, try to get as much as you can, because that really looks good to scholarship committees and things of that nature. So now we're gonna get into the reason why you all came here. You wanna know how I got them scholarships. So I'm gonna give y'all my tips. This may not be for everyone. I'm gonna just tell y'all my personal opinion about how I got it, and we're just gonna go from there. My first tip is to make sure you follow instructions. So what I mean by that is, first things first, see if you're eligible for the scholarship you're applying for. If the scholarship requires you to have at least a 3.0 and you have a 2.9, do not apply for that scholarship. Make sure you follow directions. Make sure you fit all the eligibility requirements for the scholarship. If that's really a scholarship you're pursuing to get, and you don't fit one of the requirements, try to reach out to the scholarship committee through email and see if they'll let you pass, and then just go from there. My next tip is to answer questions to the best of your ability. Some scholarships have short answer questions like, describe some community service activities you were involved in, parentheses, 150 words or less. That's a short answer question. So even though it's a short answer question, you want to answer that question to the best of your ability. Be as detailed as possible. Answer the question directly. Tell them what you think they want to hear. Not saying lie to the people, but tell them what will be like, oh, I need to give that person some money. Try to stand out. And that actually goes into my next tip, is try to stand out, okay? So there's thousands of people who apply to certain scholarships every year, And if you want a scholarship that has like big money, that's giving big money, like say for instance $5,000 per year, it's competitive. So you want to stand out to the people. The way you stand out the most is through your essay. So you want to make your essay as attention grabbing as possible. Have a hook, answer the question fully, follow the donor's values. Just make sure it's worthy reading. And also make sure your grammar is on point. Reach out to anybody to have them revise your paper or things of that nature, because sometimes other people see errors that you may not see. So that's always a good tip. If you proceed to an interview, be confident. So some scholarships require that you go through an interview process once selected and the finalists. You know, I've had like 1 or 2 scholarship interviews. What I would say is to be confident in your answers. Most of the time they refer to things that you said in your application and they just want to ask you more about it. Make sure you dress the part, look good, be on time, because you don't want to play with these people's money. If they're considering giving you money, you want to look as best as you can. Present your best self. Sell yourself, but not too much. My last tip is to thank them, regardless of whether you get the scholarship or not. You want to thank them because, say for instance, you want to reapply to the scholarship next year if you didn't get it. That just looks good to them. If you thank them, you know, say thank you in an email, anything just to show appreciation that, hey, I'm glad I was selected. I'm glad that you guys took time to look into my application. And yeah, now that I got into how to get scholarships, I'm gonna go more into where to find them, because some people just may not know. Some people may be too lazy to do the research. And honestly, looking for scholarships can sometimes be difficult because they could just be giving you a whole bunch of blah. I'm gonna tell you where I found my scholarships and what websites I think are the best out of all of them. My first suggestion of where to find them is at your school. Another way I found scholarships, for real, like this is probably the easiest way I find scholarships, is through my email. So if you sign up, usually if you sign up with a subscription to a scholarship site, they send you emails. Also, I got something for y'all DC students. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving y'all tips because I'm a DC resident. So if you're a DC resident, holla down below. Let me know if you're repping the 202. But each month, they send out scholarships for high school seniors and current college students, about national scholarships and local scholarships to apply for, and it's really helpful. I'll link it down below if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. And even if you're not a DC resident, you could probably still look at the list, but it's more so tailored towards DC students. The next way I found out about scholarships is through word of mouth. And I tell y'all, when I started looking for scholarships, I was grinding. I was going all over. I was asking people, hey, do you have any scholarships I know about? Can we share scholarships? I would share my spreadsheet, my Google spreadsheet with them in exchange for their information about scholarships. You know, just putting each other on. Like, if you know a classmate, ask them about scholarships. If you're in the church, they have plenty of scholarships. Another way to find out about scholarships is through organizations you're involved in. Just any clubs or organizations you're involved in currently, ask about the scholarships because they're usually a scholarship for that organization. You can also ask about scholarships through alumni. Say if you're in college, you can ask about scholarships through alumni. I know that my school, they have chapter scholarships. Basically what alumni chapter scholarships is, in not each region, but some regions of the United States, they have chapters, and those alumni chapters provide scholarships to permanent residents of that area. I feel like other HBCUs may offer that, like FAMU I know for sure does. Not really sure about any other schools, but you would just have to check into that. So also looking on college websites, university websites, not even just my schools, because majority of colleges have a scholarship link on their website where they just share suggestions about what scholarships to apply to. You just have to look. You have to really dig deep and do research, which goes into my next point, is lastly doing research on scholarship websites. Now I'm going to tell you guys about the scholarship websites I like, the ones that I prefer, because not all scholarship websites really give me what I need. Hopefully this helps you. Let me know if it helps you down below, but yeah, we're about to get into it. So I like JLV College Counseling. FastWeb, Unigo. This is specifically for HBCU students or Thurgood Marshall schools, the Thurgood Marshall College Funds, the United Negro College Fund serves, it gives financial aid to only 37 schools. In order to see what schools are on there, you would just have to check on the website. Lastly, I say check your government's website. They have scholarships on there too. Lastly, I'm going to give you guys suggestions on ways to limit your cost of attendance at college, because there's ways to finesse the system. Although we know that college is very, very expensive, there's ways to finesse the system. So I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Honestly, if you have your own health insurance, take the health insurance off that the school offers you. It just adds a lot of money that you don't need. Like if you have your own health insurance and it's verified through the school, go with that. If you're a freshman, if you're an incoming freshman, try to get a traditional dorm. They're usually cheaper than the best dorms on campus. If you're a transfer or an upperclassman, try to get off-campus housing. I've heard that rent is cheaper than paying a one-time fee per semester through the school. So I would suggest that you rent. And lastly, avoid getting textbooks. Usually you don't even need them half the time. They're a waste of money and they be expensive. I appreciate you for watching if you made it to the end. If you guys like advice on school and things of that nature, please let me know down below. I actually have a college advice series, which will be linked down below, so you guys get more tips about school and stuff like that. It's kind of tailored to my school, but there's a few videos that aren't about my school, so just check the playlist out for yourself, you dig? And if you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. House super clean.